for a while that I think long-term in Street Fighter 6, characters just trying to purely zone is going to become less and less of a factor because you can always just parry. So the fact of the matter is you can spend 70 seconds, it is going to be the Manon, you can spend 70 seconds just parrying and then go in when you get your one big shot, right? That's something that's possible. So over the lifespan of the game, zoning as a predominant strategy is going to matter less and less. With that being said, it's different when JP is chucking plasma at you full screen than when Ken is in your face mixing up back strong staggers, Jinrai kick, high-low options. All this shit Matt hits just a little bit differently. iDom has already been forced to surrender a fair bit of screen real estate, but iDom has a great ground game, and his whiff punish game is nothing to scoff at.
Definitely. You want to talk about optimization from both these players, you can definitely look no further. The EX grab going to reach from that far away, and hey, Metal slow and steady wins the race. And we were talking about how crazy checking drive rushes has been tonight, and speaking of which, 2 medals down. iDom, like you said, with punishing everything in sight. Oh, speaking of which, crossover with the light and trying to get the backdash shimmy, but not going to happen here. Good parry and good crouching light kick coming out from, oh no, that was medium, excuse me.
Yeah, I think once again, I have to highlight iDom's defensive decision-making is so smart because there's spots where he's counter-poking or parrying because he recognizes that crossover is going to make decisions specifically to play for burnout. So it's like, yeah, of course you're going to go for jab strings into special, so I'm going to interrupt. There's a confidence that you can have when you know why your opponent is going to do what they want to do. All that being said, crossover looking pretty right now with iDom locked down in the corner. Definitely would prefer not to spend a resource to make this happen, and iDom is at low enough health. Okay, everything iDom gets right now is just a bonus. Getting these medals is like the best thing you can play for. You don't want to commit a resource unless it'll kill, but the medals will stay. Anti-air trade, and crossover secures a round. It is now 1 round apiece.
Yeah, just another level that you have to think about, right? For Metal Manon and crossover. Maybe he adjusts his game plan to this, but you see him trying to just make sure that he stays outside the range of standing medium punch and literally tries to stay out the range of like that crouching light.
Oh, still had time to punish counter off of the DR in there. So many plus frames for crossover. Cashes out the level 3 as a result of all of it. iDom on the back foot, about 1.5 drive gauge back. Crossover content to slow it down a little bit. Play a little bit more mid-rangey, recognizes that iDom has to be the one to make a big decision now. A little bit late on the check that time, it's a trade, but even trades are okay in crossover's favor right now. Plus frames shimmy works out, and crossover secures game 1 over iDom.
Right, you saw like iDom went for that knockdown into command grab earlier, and like crossover completely understood the assignment. He knows, like, yeah, bro, you have 4 medals and you're in a deficit, so I know for a fact that you're going to try to go for these command grabs, the big damage opportunities. Not going to happen here, though. And crossover doing, like I said, doing really, really well to just stay out of the range that iDom usually likes to play at, and he's going to force iDom to come up off of meter in order to get something started.
Okay, good anti-air out of iDom. Committing to command grab a little bit less in some of these spots is looking like. Has recognized the jump back has been an option. But first we need to get out of this corner, get a little bit of room to breathe.
Yep, and DI not going to be found here, but the reversal for crossover. And crossover is playing very, very, very well right now. And iDom is just having trouble like mitigating this offense.
Right, trying to keep that pressure going. Has managed to push crossover back to the corner, but one of the things is it seems like Manon lacks some of the stickiness that I feel like, one, can bring to the matchup, but two, I think Laura and Poison both did a really effective job at being able to stick to the range they wanted to live in, and I don't know that Manon has that just yet, or at the very least that iDom has really landed on exactly how to play the character in order to ensure that you are staying rubber banded in that zone. All of that being said, iDom is able to close out that round. Be slow and methodical works. You highlighted the patience. Maybe that's the point. You don't gotta stick in the zone if you'll wait for your shot, pick it.
Yeah, but we've seen how optimizing in those small spots can be so difficult. But for iDom, it's almost second nature for him to literally just make sure that he has his combos down to put himself in the best situation, knowing that like an offensive assault from Crossover might be on the way. And as you can see, Crossover in the corner, OD Jinrai, and what a whiff punish from the grab, perfect KO. A Crossover is taking it to iDom 2-0. Looks like my picks may not come to fruition here.
Yeah, I love iDom. iDom's the homie, one of my favorite players to watch. But especially with this matchup, the pace that Crossover's playing at, I think it's gonna take, if iDom's gonna stick with Manon, I think it's gonna take a little bit of time. We were talking earlier, like with Chun-Li, right? Or even Sim is another character where like it takes time for people to really figure out the ins and outs of the character and the way that you want to optimize a lot of different decisions. It's fine for the character to take a little bit longer. iDom has managed to now bring this round back around in his favor, though, but he's had a couple of good rounds. He's sitting down 2-0 as a result of it now. Good rounds don't always win sets.
Yep, Crossover finally in a deficit for one of the a few, maybe a couple of the first times that we've seen playing against iDom. And iDom, getting thrown back here into the corner. 4 medals though, so if he loses, no sweat here, but that will not be found here. iDom gonna be able to take the round. 5 medals already loaded up going into the second round. So now Crossover has another layer of offense to worry about, and we haven't seen iDom go for command grab in a while. So raw command grab in a while. So
yeah, I mean, in game 1, he got jumped back on like 3 times. He ate so much damage off of drive reversal into punish counter. Okay, a lot of these errant pokes, but again, you know, iDom needs to fish with these buttons in the mid-range that are gonna like rubber band you in to force you in the strike throw mix, but all of those options get jumped in on. So it's like you're forced to make this decision where jump beats command grab, but it also beats like standing fierce, crouching fierce. So like just jumping at you is beating multiple options at once. That being said, iDom is at least in a good position with 3 bars and 5 medals, so there is a lot of damage available for minimal effort here. If iDom, all he needs is to be able to get in and cash out on a big option.
right, and you can see him buffering that standing medium, kind of posturing a little bit just because he's like, man, I want to check these drive rushes and I really want to start the strike throw game. But Crossover is doing a really good job of staying out of range in that. Gonna be able to score the knockdown here and then, yes, get the drive rush in, but unfortunately the throw, and good shimmy coming from Crossover, making them whiff the grab right there. And now iDom in a very bad way, trying to just stay alive in this set.
Yeah, and at gradually losing real estate on the screen, now back up against the wall. He has CA available to him, but watch, I mean, Crossover is so comfortable just giving this space up, sitting on such a lead, has Fireball. What are you going to do? You either commit to a poke that's going to get smoked out, or you're going to jump in. I can't believe I was hyping you up for your anti-airs, Crossover, and you let him jump at you?
Oh yeah, this is guess for game right here. Wow.
Oh, but he hard committed to the OD Tatsu out of the corner. That was literally the one thing you could have done after committing to jump that would not have secured you the round. And now the whiff punish makes for game. Overhead connects. That's going to kill on chip, right? Yes, goddamn Crossover. You had it and you lost it.
iDom says down, but not out, baby. So here we go into game 4. And iDom, like I said, the patience coming out in the last possible moment they needed to. Like literally like understanding that I really can't give anything up, and with less than 5% health, he was actually able to pull it out. So here we go, Crossover. Now you're in a situation to where you have to make sure that you seal this out. You don't want this going to game 5.
Right. No loops, just playing for the meter build. Nice whiff punish out of iDom. But once again, hard commit to that command grab, but Crossover jumps a little bit later that time. The DR does not end up connecting, but Crossover should have the damage here. Yeah, just commit that level 1. You don't want to give iDom another shot, especially after that last round just went out of your favor.
Like, and you saw, like, literally, like, every time he gets put in knockdown, like, Crossover is just instantly jumping back, like, not trying to deal with any of it. But once again, putting iDom in the corner, making the corner his home. You pay rent here. Another throw on the way. No, going to be able to break and Crossover. Wow, punishing the whiffed attack and iDom. The defense hasn't been stellar, but will get the command throw right here. The hit grab, excuse me.
I think the problem is, like, iDom can't just play defense here, because in order to get his game started, he needs to be DRing behind some kind of limb. He needs to catch something out, and it's just not going to work out for him. Ken is too well equipped in that space, and in fact, it'll be exactly enough for CrossoverRD to move on to the winners finals, waiting on the winner of what I assume will be our next match of Brian DR versus Jimmy DR. iDom will get another shot at this, drops down to play against the winner of Redman and Balrog RD. Redman, who it appears lost to Brian RD off stream.
We have Yaz too.
Yeah, and Yazdero took it 3-2 over Kuma to move on and the loser's side as well. So bracket moving along slowly but surely. But right now, Banjo, you're my pick. Both still in here, and it's looking like it could very well be our winners finals.
Yeah, like